Hey guys, this is your warning. We do post up spoilers. At times we're relatively offensive. We use vulgar language. So if you think that any of those are gonna offend you in any way, shape, or form, take your step back right now. Cause buddy, this is not the place for you. Anywho, have fun listening to us, and yeah, this has been your final warning.
Hello, good evening, afternoon, or morning, whichever time you're listening to us. We are Cinematic Anarchy. My name is Omar. Here we have Chris,
Hey,
Seth,
Zephyr,
and Miss Nico.
Hello!
And today we're going to be talking about a great thriller from 1995, starring Lori Petty, Malcolm McDowell, and Ice-T.
oh, you said
Tank Girl.
You call it a thriller, dude.
It is a thriller.
Action comedy.
Yeah.
I was thrilled to watch it.
Okay, I'll give you that. Thank you. You convinced me of how thrilling it is.
Definitely hands down one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yes. Yes.
I loved it.
I watched it a little bit when I was younger.
I loved it because it was crazy. It was a crazy movie.
Never really
Lori
got
Petty
into it until we had this.
Perfect.
This. Okay.
This.
We're holding two conversations here. I have watched it. I watched it once when we first intended to do this. It was about a couple weeks back. I'm glad to have everybody back here today, so it's not just me and Zeph flying solo. We got our whole creative team back together. We wanted to wait to do this one, so we held off.
I went on like a little 2-week hiatus.
Past couple of podcasts, I haven't really had too much of anything offensive to say.
And I actually promised Zeph that I would start off this podcast by giving him a thorough apology. So it was, not sure, maybe 1-2 podcasts ago that I called him out about his hatred of Star Wars.
Oh my god!
The original Star Wars series.
He tried to say that I said that I hated Star Wars.
And I was actually incorrect, so
How
I
dare
was not
you.
listening. And he was actually discussing how a friend of his was not particularly fond of Star Wars or the remastered version.
He'd never seen it, but he'd be more apt to watch the remastered version as opposed to somebody who's like me who saw the originals, loved the originals, and could deal with it that way.
So I told him at the end of that podcast that if it was indeed found to be true that he did not say such a thing, I would apologize. And here, I'm being the bigger man. I'm admitting that I was dead fucking wrong.
In all fairness, I'm not a t-shirt wearing Star Wars fan, and I think those movies were great.
Right, but some
Yeah,
people
I'm with you on
that's all it was. Some people just feel like
Like if they're showing, I'll watch them.
Yeah.
I won't be wearing no
4, 5,
R2D2
and 6.
t-shirt on May the 4th.
4, 5, and 6, bueno.
You have to call me
1,
a
2, and 3.
genius.
Thumbs down.
Yeah, you have to.
And then,
you have to call me a super genius also.
I didn't say that. Now that I did not agree to.
Well, I want you to
I did
say.
not agree to that.
Be the bigger man, Chris. Be the bigger man.
Super genius.
Yeah, no,
Not that.
I'm Gary Coleman here. I'm not the bigger man here. I'm Webster.
It's gonna be Danny DeVito here.
I am the shorter man here.
Whatever. Let's get back to Tank Girl since the apology was so half-assed said.
Practically Vern
Just
Troyer.
kidding. I really do appreciate it.
So, first opinions on Tank Girl all around. Now, this is one of the first times you watched it recently, anyway.
Yeah, no, I personally I liked it. I mean, when I was younger and I saw the bits and pieces of it, I was interested in it. But like, it was once again one of those sci-fi movies that I never really got a chance to like sit through the whole thing. I either fell asleep or got kicked. I had to go. It's bedtime. Go to bed.
It was a great. You know what's crazy? That I've seen bits and pieces of this movie over the years, and I love the little bits and pieces that I saw. I never got myself to really watch it until probably a couple of years ago, and I loved it. I guess as a grown up, it's different.
Okay.
I loved this movie. Hands down, one of my favorite movies of all time. I like the way they incorporate the comics with the movie itself.
Yeah.
I like the animations that they used with the original comics. I love Lori Petty's quick wit throughout the entire movie. Like, she portrays Rebecca perfectly throughout the movie. However, like, I don't like the fact that they changed Booga's origin story.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, she was telling me about this a little earlier.
Yeah, in the movie, they, Tank Girl and Jet were asking, the Rippers, the kangaroo mutant guys, who, like, how they became what they are. And Ice-T used to be a cop. Fucking DT used to be this, like, jazz guy. And Booga told them, I used to be a dog, and then they upgraded me to human status. But in the comics, he used to be a toy maker for this company that was like toys that Santa would sacrifice a reindeer for. Yeah, no, it's great.
Which doesn't hold up if you're trying to sell that to the general public. I mean, comic book readers, yes, but...
That and... What was I going to say? Fuck. Just train of thought went out the stage.
That's alright. We all fall off that treadmill every once in a while.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not a huge fan of the way they made Booga like this scrawny, goofy character in comparison to the rest of the Rippers.
Dear me.
Because in the comics, Booga's this like big, bulky fucking guy, and like, yeah, he'll do anything for Becca, and like he's loyal like a dog, which kind of makes sense with the new story.
Beer me. Zep's looking for a beer over here.
He's asking for a beer, Bob.
Beer him before he interrupts again. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Continue with your train of thought.
I was reading some stuff.
No help with Zeph here.
Yeah, no, I'm not a huge fan that they made Booga this, like, cooked, scrawny little fucking, like...
Yep.
California fucking surfer guy.
Yeah, it was definitely... He had this half-baked California surfer thing going a la Sean Penn in...
yeah. Exactly.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
It's kind of simple.
It was really
but,
bad.
Like, other than those, like, small, minor details, the movie altogether was beautifully done.
Okay.
For the time that, like, they had what they had.
Yeah.
I personally enjoy it more now than I did when I was watching it way back when. I think, like, Tank Girl, for me, when I first watched it ages ago, when it, like, first came out, I was in high school at the time, and in all honesty, it wasn't one of my favorite movies. And I watch it now and just absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Like, just Lori Perry's attitude the entire way through. I was even saying, like, during that discussion we were having earlier, Miss B, that I think if they revamp the movie, what they were talking about a reboot, that instead of doing a reboot like a live-action thing, they should do it as an animated series with Lori Petty helming the series, because her acting in that throughout was by far my favorite part of it.
Fucking perfect.
That and Ice-T dressed as a kangaroo. All you have to do is say Ice-T dressed as a kangaroo, I'm there all day long.
Yeah, definitely.
And I did not catch on the first couple of times I watched it that he was a cop. Like, he is doomed because of that one song that he did to play cops for the rest of his life, or some kind of military personnel.
He's just...
Well, he's always like a Navy SEAL or some undercover agent or a cop in everything that he does ever since doing that one thing. Like, he is
ever since he was the rest of his life. A gangster.
Well, his first acting gig was New Jack City, and he played a cop, an undercover cop.
Again, like I said, have you seen him in anything where he wasn't some sort of law enforcement official or military person?
Judgment Night, Ricochet. That I can remember. Those two I can't
remember anymore.
Judgment Night, he was a criminal in Ricochet. He was a criminal that was helping
Rick and Morty. He was Ice-T.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's true, right.
There you go. Rick and Morty. All right, I forgot about that.
As himself.
A tea made of ice.
A tea made of ice.
And then then when he finally gets back, they transform him into what? Well, what was he originally? He was Iceberg, and then they turned him into Ice-T for that episode.
And then, you're right. Yeah. He was changed back. I can't even fucking remember what he was changed back into.
You have to go back over it. Somebody Google it. Everybody's got a phone. Somebody Google it.
I'm online.
You're online. You can't
Rick and Morty.
I got it.
So I'm reading some of the trivia here. I still recall one interview on a hip hop show where the host made fun of him for doing Tank Girl, dressing up as a kangaroo and everything. And he simply replied, "I was paid $800,000 for that movie."
There you go.
And the interview moved on from that.
$800,000. You want to dress me up like a kangaroo? I don't give a
Fuck it.
Yeah, for $800,000, I'll dress
You
up
give
as
me
anything.
$800,000, I'll walk on there wearing nothing but the Borat swimsuit. I'm good.
Yes.
I'm telling you. Nobody's going to want to see it, but for $800,000, I'll do it.
Another one you're going to love. MGM insisted on cutting a scene of Tank Girl and her boyfriend Booga reclining after sex, despite spending $5,000 on a prosthetic penis for Booga.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
That would have been, well, you know, if you read the comic books are far more graphic than
Oh,
the movie
yeah.
ever
Graphic.
was.
Oh yeah.
Right? Let me just say,
But
Tank
what
Girl
the-
in the comic books, she lets her freak flag fly. It's very graphic.
Nothing,
give a fuck.
nothing wrong with letting your freak fly.
Mind you, I didn't know that when I bought my 15-year-old son the comic book when he was 13. So he's like, "Hey, can I read this?" "What do you mean, can I read this?" "Well, you bought this for me." "Yeah, can I read this?" And then he shows me, and I'm flipping through it. Oh,
I already bought it for you.
you're gonna learn it somewhere. You might as well learn it from a comic book. Here you go.
Special shout out to all the ladies who let the freak flag fly. We love you and we ain't judging.
Oh, speaking of, I don't know if any of you guys know this, but the original artist for Tank Girl is also the same person that makes the artwork for the Gorillas.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I did know that.
The guy who draws.
I did know that.
Jamie
the guy
Hewlett.
who draws the gorillas.
I love his artwork. Oh God, he's
Serious?
amazing.
Like I said, he could do animated series with no problem, and I would be there all day long for it.
Yeah, he's really good.
But animated series for HBO, because then you could do it the way it's supposed to be done, like the comic books, like a straight-up comic book adaptation.
You can't put it on Netflix because they're mad that people are smoking cigarettes in their shows.
Honestly, I don't even get me started about that Netflix shit. They got a movie where some kid masturbates on a fucking pillow. Some kid. Basically, it was a movie about this woman who's like overly sexualized, this Latino woman who's overly sexualized, and they have this flashback to where she had her first orgasm as like a 12-year-old kid. And the kid that was doing it was not supposed to know exactly what they were doing. So they're directing the kid to do what they did. The movie is still up on Netflix to this day.
That's some Harvey Weinstein shit.
And they're pulling down a friggin' thing about somebody smoking. They're taking a scene out, or no, they're going to stop showing things or making things with people smoking.
They're cutting out all the cigarette smoking because of Stranger Things, which is the kids'
Yeah,
show.
that's some fucking bullshit.
Based off of the 1985.
Back in the fucking 80s, people were smoking cigarettes in fucking hospitals and everywhere.
Right,
like,
one of the things.
They're
He's
staying
smoking
true
a
to the fucking
cigarette.
time.
I don't know if you guys, if you've seen it. Have you seen the new season?
Oh yeah, I
David
finished
Harbour
that
smokes
shit in
a
like
lot in
a
that.
day and a half.
So, but he's smoking a cigarette in the middle of a restaurant, and that's one of the like major things that they had the problem with. They're like, why is he smoking a cigarette there? And it's like because they used to. Yeah,
You could smoke indoors back then. You could smoke in restaurants. Most places.
What are you doing for breakfast? A pack of cigarettes and toast. Like,
Well,
Pretty
in
much.
the 80s, people will smoke right here. A kid will be like in a stroller right next to him, inside of a restaurant, right next to another whole bunch of kids, and somebody else with oxygen was also smoking.
Yep.
Yeah.
still smoking with the oxygen.
And then you will go with your kids in the car playing
Don't they
in
have
the
that
backseat
little
with no
flammable
seatbelt.
sticker
I
on the side of the
remember-
oxygen tank? Don't do that.
I remember very distinctly growing up, my grandmother on my dad's side was on an oxygen tank from like the day I was born until the day she died. And she was always like smoking in the house and like chain smoking.
My great-grandfather lived to be like around 105 years old. He said that he had been drinking whiskey and smoking cigarettes and cigars since he was 13 years old. And his theory on why he was still alive was that he had smoked and pickled everything inside of him. So he had preserved himself really damn well.
He just didn't get hit with the cancer gun that the military.
You know how he died?
Yeah.
The cancer was
Man
taking a
didn't-
while to kick in.
Man didn't pass away from cancer, didn't have a corroded liver. He died because he fell down the stairs because he was too impatient for his nurse to come help him to the bathroom.
Oh my god.
Stubborn man.
So, I mean,
he
sad
would have had
thing,
some
but-
stuff.
Just saying, man would have lived longer than that.
He could have lived way longer than that.
By the way, those hot dogs that you made over there, there's flies all over them.
Man,
Just bring them
we're
over.
gonna eat.
That means they're fresh.
So,
They won't need them.
we got way sidetracked here. We are still talking about Tank Girl, just not as religiously as we should be right here. So, favorite scene in the movie?
Oh my god.
When my personal favorite scene. Well, you think I heard your ums and ums.
Yeah.
No, that was because I don't know the characters' names, but the bad guy. He's like, let's all have a round of applause for this man who got us 2/3 of like the whole entire desert.
Okay.
And then pretty much he's like, you're a piece of shit. I want the other 2/3. Breaks a bunch of glass on the ground and says, take your shoes off and come here. And the guy walks right over the glass. And he's like, you see, the difference between me and you is I told you to do that, and if you told me to do that, I wouldn't have done it.
He basically called him a coward. He said, I would have tried to kill you for saying
that had
something
to be
like
my
While
favorite too, because
he's walking across the glass. Like, I'm just doing this because I don't give a fuck, but you did it because you're a bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like, I was like...
that had to be my. That was a powerful message in that, though, if you listen, because most people get peer pressure into shit they shouldn't be doing.
Right, you know, and it's at the end of the day, he's pretty much like, I'm gonna kill you right here, right now, and you're still doing what I'm saying. You know, like I thought that was gangsta.
You bitch. Yeah, I love that too. I really liked it.
That would have to be my favorite scene.
I really liked the whole, like, when Tank Girl and Jet were hijacking the tank, and, like, you know, Jet's like, what the fuck are you doing? You're like, stop, fucking chill out, stop fucking pressing random shit. And, like, the tank nozzle thing, fucking, the barrel
Yes.
comes over and hits her in the face, and then she hallucinates this whole fucking animated shit with with Rebecca.
This argument between
Yeah,
her and Jet and
exactly. Like,
Rebecca.
I loved that whole animated scene. Like, it's trippy. It's fucking like, I love it.
What I think. Sorry to stop this.
No, you're
we'll
good.
get right back into it. But if they did do a live, not a live action, but an animated adaptation to it, where they could get more in depth, I would love it if they did like a thing where, so she gets hit in the head with something, and now it's a live action. You know what I mean?
So the hallucination is live action.
Yes!
as
Oh my
opposed to
God!
That, so
That would be fantastic.
Like, kind of what they do with the fucking South Park. Yeah.
Personally, my favorite scene from the movie, nearing the end of the movie. So there's a fight sequence between Malcolm McDowell and Tank Girl. Malcolm McDowell being the pivotal villain in the movie, and she knocks him off the scaffolding from up here, and she's down here, and he's on the ground with his hands stuck in the gear.
Yeah.
And she just starts dancing like, I'm so pretty, I'm gonna hit you so hard your children are gonna be born bruised. Oh God.
Yo, I love her energy through the entire movie.
Yeah, it was. She was the perfect actor for that one.
Yeah.
but I feel
As-
like non.
I wasn't done. I was not done yet.
Whatever, go, fine, whatever.
He was still medium rare.
That's how I like my steak.
Very
right?
rare here. But then after this goes on, after she gets into this thing, the tank comes in, and she has a full-on
Yeah,
conversation
it's like
with her
the tank is sentient.
right, being out of ammo, and then she goes in like, what does she start shooting at him? Like beer?
Yeah. I hate putting beer to waste, but
Pre-apocalyptic beer.
So now you can go. I'm done.
Oh no, I lost.
Post-apocalyptic.
I mean,
No,
they
it's
indicated that the
pre-apocalyptic.
tank was
So
just like
before you
somewhat-
go on, they say that the tank was a Soviet Cold War era Soviet PT-76 light tank, and they are amphibious.
Amphibious,
Just
yes.
a little fun fact.
They kind of indicated earlier in the movie that the tank was like sentient before that scene, because like when she was hijacking the truck with all the weapons, or so what they thought was weapons, which was actually
The tank
Johnny
was alive.
Prophet.
Yeah.
That was sad.
Yeah, that was depressing. But the tank was still driving itself, and like she whistled, it drove faster, and there was no one else in the tank. So like,
Well, when she first goes to go hijack it, it's like it has its own AI inside it. You know, like it's like put in the proper code.
Oh no, this is a different tank. That's a different tank altogether. They hijack a different tank because that first tank that trapped her was inoperable.
yeah, it wasn't functional.
Yeah, but even so, like it kind of seems like they do give them like an artificial intelligence that they can. So after they hijack it, it becomes hers. Like,
I think it had. I I'm on 20%.
Okay.
My live stream stopped for a second. Anyway, I think what made the tank sentient was when they did the whole like modifications in that random chick's garage.
Right. That montage that they go through.
Mm-hmm.
So they basically give it its own personality.
Wait, but she ended up being Subgirl?
So that chick, the garage that they used, that is Subgirl. Now they didn't explain it because all those scenes where she was Subgirl, they cut out of the movie.
Thank fucking God.
Oh my God! Yeah, no, those last like scenes that they cut out of the movie did not belong at all. It was so bad.
They redid the opening and redid the ending scene so that it was a bit lighter, and in the ending scene's case, not as fucking corny.
Yeah.
It's going
I wouldn't have minded if they did like a 5 years in the future thing at the end of the movie where Tank and Booga had their daughter.
Right.
Like they did with like the deleted scenes, but I would have preferred if they did that better.
So they end up having a daughter that's like part kangaroo,
well, I mean, she's not part
kangaroo,
part mutant kangaroo. She's a normal kid. But she's got the DNA in her.
She's a kangaroo. Probably by age 13, she would have a pouch.
She's not like mutated or anything in the scene.
Developed a pouch.
She's wearing Booga's shirt with the target.
Right. Well,
so correcting myself on the tank.
Okay, correcting yourself.
The water and power tanks were the Cold War Soviet era PT-76 light tank. Her tank was a World War II era M5A1 Stuart light tank. It's just kind of bigger.
Okay.
It's sentient.
And sentient.
And it was sentient.
That bitch is alive.
Thank you for that mid-podcast correction. Not a problem. Okay, so one-liners throughout the entire movie. Obviously, everybody has their own favorite one-liner from Tank Girl.
I can't even think of one. I haven't seen it that often to really like. Well, I guess it's Ice-T's just like automatic like disapproval of everything. Like you can't trust them.
Take him out and kill him. You can't trust him. Kill him now. Take him outside and smoke
everything. Like even at the end, he doesn't trust her.
When Rebecca saves Jet from the fucking creepy guy that's trying to fuck her at the beginning of the movie.
Right. What are you doing with my girlfriend?
Yeah, what are you doing with my girlfriend? She kisses her. Dude walks away and she's like, it worked. Okay. What worked?
Yeah.
And then fucking she walks away and smiles.
I need to make a comment about that scene. Unless this guy was some deeply devout Christian, there is no reason why he should have ever had that look of disgust on his face.
Right?
Like, he looked like he was having like some sort of rage disgust at the whole scene of Lori Petty and her kissing. It's like...
Well, that might have been the actor himself having...
What's going on there?
Feelings of disgust.
Having himself a Christian attack.
You sure that you're heterosexual and not just trying to prove something there?
It is time. We now are going to explain the beer that we are drinking today. It is Tijuana. Mexican lager. It was made in Tijuana, apparently. We are going to call the hotline at some point to see if,
it's really the case.
Like, all I'm saying is if somebody picks up and they're like, hello, hi, welcome to Tijuana Beer.
How do you know that if you go over to Mexico, there isn't an entire room full of Americans answering their phones?
It's called the Resort.
I'm just
Americans.
It's called the Resort.
Americans.
Well, let's be honest. They're right near Texas. Those are all Americans.
They're all Americans. M-U-R-I-C-A.
My apologies to Texas, because I know a lot of people over there have been
wrong
listening
side
to
of the
us.
wall,
Actually,
bro.
my TikTok
The one who listened to us are
and
cool.
she's from Texas.
Oh, hey.
Her name is Max.
Look, all I gotta say is that we explain that we're offensive. We are by no means hateful. We explain at the head of the podcast we are offensive as fuck, and we will say things without thinking. And sometimes I'm the only one here that backtracks and goes, "Oh God, I'm sorry. Love me, please love me." You know.
Love me. Say that you love me.
Again, we're not. No, just keep singing, please.
By the way, I just want to say, nice save. His alarm goes off. You start talking about the beer.
It is time we talk about the beer. I love it.
That would have been played off perfectly, but then now you told the guests.
The alarm had nothing to do with the beer.
Nothing.
It is time.
Yeah.
They didn't have to know that.
Right. It could have.
Yeah, you could have just left it at that, and we could have kept the alarm forever.
You're offending me a lot right now.
You've killed the alarm.
I'm triggered.
So I've got my favorite one-liner right here, and it's Jet Girl, not Tank Girl. It's when they're in the jet and they're trying to get clearance to get into the hangar.
Yes.
And she gets on there, and Naomi Watts just goes crazy for a second. She's like, "Now here's the situation. This bird has no electrical, and in about 2 minutes we're going to be kissing gravel. So listen, you sperm sucker. Either you get off your butt and clear us for landing, or I'm going to fly this rocket right up your socket." I didn't do it as well as she did.
The very beginning, she's like, clearly a Ripper got in between our communications. Fuck you guys. Listen to what I gotta say.
I think Lori Petty did great. Nobody did better than Lori Petty in the movie, but Naomi Watts did a decent job.
She did very good for her character.
She was supposed to play sort of meek.
Yeah.
And that was her first big budget film.
Yeah, but
That was primarily because of what the situation she was dealing with. You know, that's where her character was coming from. Did it perfect.
Yeah, she did.
But still, I mean, Ice-T plays the same guy no matter what he's in. I mean,
Ice-T's versatility is... He plays gruff and mean, you know. He can do happy gruff and mean, but it's gruff and mean.
It's like they gave him too much animal instinct. So that dog that just doesn't like anybody.
Yeah,
that's what he pretty much plays.
Feed to troll at rest as a kangaroo. Special victims unit.
One-liner.
But I love Ice-T anyway.
One other one-liner is literally just one word. It is when she is first captured, when Tank Girl is first captured, and she convinces that guy to come over there, and she wraps his leg around his head and snaps his neck, and immediately everybody's pointing the gun at her. What?
Yeah. What? Like, what did I do?
One word.
I love her fucking vibe the entire time. Oh my god,
it's like
perfect.
It's based off of like the post-apocalyptic world. Mm-hmm. So you know when it comes.
Like a more comedic
the education isn't there. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like she plays an idiot, because you could be smart without being book smart. You know what I mean? So,
exactly.
Like, she's post-apocalyptic smart, where, like, you know, like, she's a kid.
She's a survivor.
Like, she knows how to survive in any situation.
Yeah, you throw somebody in a situation that they gotta survive, they got no other
And, like, it had been
choice.
11 years of that desert bullshit. So, like, she got herself situated.
Yeah, but there was a few things, though, like, a few references that it's like, would you really know about that, though? You know, like, it's so far into this post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah.
Would you really understand that reference?
The original beginning to this movie actually sort of explained a little bit of the post-apocalyptic world. So if you actually got to see, it was very dark.
Yeah.
It was just people literally running, scattering everywhere. There was these meteors that were hitting the planet.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And just Tank Girl is a little girl, and people are calling for her, and she's hiding somewhere as these things are hitting. So they're saying that this world that she's living in, I mean, she's like, what, 20-something in the movie at best? They're saying that maybe, at best, this is 20 years into the future. Like, this whole apocalypse has only been there for 20 years. It's not 11 years.
11
okay.
years.
Okay.
So it hasn't been several hundred years or several decades
or something. But even but that's what I was saying. Like even the kids had references. That it's like
I wouldn't think that. I'm assuming Rebecca in the movie itself, she's maybe like 26, 27 years old.
Right.
That would mean she was like what, 12, 13? Would she even know about Baywatch?
That original scene,
you know
though.
What I mean? Like,
the original scene,
But you
she
never
was
know.
about as young as that little kid.
There's a good chance she did.
Well,
Clearly she did, apparently.
You gotta understand, a lot of knowledge get passed down generation to generation. A lot of kids don't know about a lot of the old stuff because mainly they're not interested. There's too much extraction.
And the parents aren't being aggressive enough about teaching them.
Exactly. Because some parents let technology raise kids today.
Yeah,
in a post-apocalyptic world with less distraction, I'm sure people will listen to those stories that get handed down generation to generation and know things.
Because at that point, that's all you got.
Yeah, exactly. All you got for entertainment is really a story before bedtime.
What you saying?
So like there was the movie Reign of Fire.
Yeah.
With Christian Bale. I don't know if you guys have seen it. That's a movie that I want to review at some point. I mean, it's
definitely a bad movie.
I don't think I haven't. I haven't seen it.
I haven't watched it.
It's like a modern movie with dragons in it. So all of it's modern.
So pretty much
I haven't watched it, but it sounds horrible.
No, I actually loved it, but because it's like, they're in England, they dig a hole, and they enter where the dragons are slumbering. You know what I mean? They've been slumbering for thousands of years.
Yeah.
They break them out, boom, now they're retaking over the world. But in one of the scenes in that movie, they're reenacting Star Wars. Like, the people are playing, like, the characters as Star Wars, like, because they don't have TVs anymore. They don't have that much electricity. Like, everything is gone. This is like apocalypse.
So all the places pretty much Star Wars reenactment.
They make plays. Anything that the older generation remembers, they pass it down to the younger ones, and they pick Star Wars as one.
Well, at the lack of entertainment, you're gonna start listening to grown-ups and whatever stories they have to tell.
Yeah.
So now we'll go ahead and discuss the least favorite part of the movie. And I have a glaring one in my head, but I want to let everybody take a shot first.
It wasn't like a part per se, but throughout the movie, I wish I would have given Booga, the character of Booga, more depth. Like, it was pretty much the same thing throughout the whole movie. They could have done something better with that. Probably challenge Ice-T a little more.
That wasn't Booga. Ice-T wasn't Booga.
Challenge the actor a little more.
My
bad. I was thinking of Ice-T because of his $800 that he got paid. $800,000 that he got paid, and I was thinking about that. But yeah, they could have done something better with Booga, with the actor, and challenged him a little more and give that character, because the character was pretty much the same thing throughout the whole thing.
Booga was played by a famous character actor, Jeff Kober.
Yes, Kober.
Been in a lot of different stuff, but definitely not Ice-T.
No, I know. I just was thinking of Ice at the moment.
Ice-T's character was T-Saint.
Uh-huh.
For a saint, he wanted to kill the humans. Just kill humans, they're not worth it, But, okay.
Even though he used to be.
They were human once. Well, they said resurrected, so I wonder if they were dead humans.
No, so
for all intents and purposes, I'm sorry, wrong kangaroo.
Wrong kangaroo. What are you saying? All kangaroos look alike?
That's racist.
Animalist.
So, my least favorite scene is when they go fix the bad guy. And this guy comes out and he's just like, I'm the ultimate greatest cybernetic person. Like, I can turn you into a cyborg, no problem. And then like he cuts his head off, and now he's like a hologram head, and like, it's like so there's like no human aspect to him. How did they like transfer his consciousness into the robot? If like they didn't use any, there was no human aspect to his body anymore.
Well, no, his
everything
body
from
was
the
still
neck
his
down
body.
was still his body.
All he needed
It's just
was
the
new
head
eyes.
and the arm.
All he needed was new eyes.
Yeah, right.
So why cut off his head?
Well, there had to have been
absolutely no
something
need
wrong
for
with his
that.
face too, because the mask was keeping everything in, whatever that was.
Yeah.
His eyes, he got fucked up in the eyes.
So we're gonna cut your head off, and we're just gonna give you a cybernetic, it's a holographic image of the head.
Right, but where's his being?
Did you you guys watched the movie, right? When she knocked him off, she was having that little. I was talking about that being one of my favorite scenes, which if you saw when he first hit the ground, he puts his hand on his face and rubs his head like he had hit his head.
Yeah.
But it's a holographic
But then,
head.
like,
And then they explain it's a holographic image, which means that
he
physically
puts his
couldn't
hand
have happened.
through his head.
Yeah, that
Unless
physically could not have
his
happened.
cybernetic arms wouldn't like allow him to, as if he feels like he has a head.
Yeah, but
like
even still, he put his hand through his
like-
face just shortly thereafter. So even
that
still,
whole scene doesn't make sense because he's
I
like,
agree.
you can't hurt me, but I can hurt you. Like she basically can't. Like he's insinuating that his whole body is a hologram.
if I concentrate real hard, I can poke myself in the holographic eyes.
Yeah. Like that whole scene was just confusing.
I do agree that it made no sense, but you have to agree, especially for 1995, that shit looked pretty cool.
Yeah, but
I mean,
the science
it looked
behind
cool,
it
but it
wasn't
didn't
there.
make sense.
It didn't make no sense at all.
Yeah,
That is true.
It's like my whole thing is like cut the head off, attach it to a new body. Not cut the head off and make a holographic head. That
Where's the
doesn't.
consciousness? Where's the brain?
Yeah, unless you like.
Well, this is
Unless you
2033. It's the future.
Or unless you put like the brain in the kind of like Futurama fucking tank thing and connected some wires to the brain.
Futurama hadn't been invented at the time, so the
Yeah,
Nixon
exactly.
head did not exist.
That's some Walt Disney shit.
Okay, so
It's true.
Your least favorite? Yeah, and I'm asking you for your least favorite part of Tank Girl. I know that's not easy.
It's not easy, but I'm not a huge fan of... Oh, God, I need to find out his name. What's his fucking name? Hang on, give me a second.
What's the character?
Humpy McHumperson?
Yeah!
Yeah, the kangaroo that likes legs. It's,
The legs, any body part.
was it Scott Kofi? Donner?
He was also a fan of elbows.
Was it Donner?
Let me see.
Trying to figure it out. Well, why don't you look that up and I'll tell you what my least favorite part is.
Alright, you guys do that.
And apparently I'm thinking y'all forgot about this part, because we haven't talked about it at all. The part with the madam. The whole chorus line, song and dance, let's fall in love thing. I feel that whole shit fest went on way too long.
Yeah,
like, I love the one-liner where she grabs the girl and says, okay, everybody drop your guns or I'm going to scrape off all her makeup. And then she looks at her and goes, this could take a while.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But other than that, the whole thing, I think they could have avoided the song and dance chorus line routine altogether and still made that a pretty great scene.
Yeah.
But, they could have battled their way out of there or something. And I think that the chorus line part and the sing-song thing it took away from the movie. It made this, like, stopgap in the movie that made it difficult to get into the second half. And, if you guys heard that...
Chips going.
So we're outdoors, so that you're going to hear wind, you're going to hear chirps, you're going to hear blips and bops, and you're also going to hear Zeph, my apologies, reaching over the table to dig into a Tostitos bag.
That's twice that you've apologized to me. I like it.
He likes when we have to apologize for him.
Okay, so yeah, you were right. It is Donner. I fucking hate his character through the entire movie. He's so goddamn rapey the entire movie.
He's rapey.
I wouldn't call him rapey.
He is rapey.
He has the animalistic instinct of a dog with a leg. I'm just saying.
And he's got the cognition of a human,
which is
He's a
technically
pervert.
rapey.
So
yeah.
it's like
Definitely a
he's
pervert.
entirely rapey.
I feel
Talking
like
about trying to hump these girls while they're knocked out on nitrous oxide. He's fucking, like, they start dancing in
Omar.
the Ripper's little dungeon cave thing they got going on down there, and fucking this dude, like, goes to dance with Jet, and he's not dancing, he's just humping her leg.
Yep.
And she's like, what the fuck is happening?
He seemed to be rather fond of that leg.
Which is another reason why I appreciated them cutting out the end scene, they not doing the ending the way they wanted to, because they paired off Jet Girl and the leg humper.
Yeah.
They paired them off, and I'm
She definitely does not deserve that guy.
She was repulsed the entire time by this guy.
She doesn't deserve to be with that guy.
But if you see,
He's fucking, oh god, he's terrible.
That's My Boy with Adam Sandler.
Yes, I am.
Mm-hmm.
He's so crude and so out there and like so like yeah, show me your tits, you know what I mean? Like out there. and you have the they go to the spa and there's like just the one lady who's like, you are the most repulsive, sadistic, terrible man I've ever met that I want to fuck right now.
Yeah, that's pretty much how we went.
Because he's such a piece of shit, you know, like. Maybe she's into that. Like, she's repulsed the whole time. Like she wants to be repulsed, but at the end of the day, that's her thing.
I don't see anything attractive by it. Now, everybody else had, like, this kind of cool backstory, and this guy is, like, an auto parts salesman.
Yeah.
You know, what were you in your past life? I was an auto parts salesman.
When the war was normal.
Oh.
So why the fuck did the military choose you to be one of these ultimate soldiers?
How are you the MacGyver tech guy in this group here?
Because if they were reincarnated as what they are, they could be dead. So he could have died like, who knows, like a car fell on him and then they would just
Because he was like their tech guy, their radio guy.
Yeah.
It's like, how did the car parts salesman become this guy? Like he was.
How does that translate into his new life that he's living now? That doesn't...
No.
There's no way that you could see a bridge
They
into
don't give
this.
any backstory onto how he became that technologically advanced.
I think they could have worked a little harder to give them a little bit more depth.
Yeah.
Half of them kind of seemed, I want to say, a little stupid.
Yep.
Yeah, like they didn't have a lot of intelligence.
Regular people.
Well, not even that. I mean, like there's regular people, and then there's people that just are not on a mental wavelength that just would be copacetic with what they were supposed to be. They were supposed to be like super soldiers, and just I couldn't see super soldier coming out of any of that.
No.
It's super strong.
Huh?
They could rip you limb from limb. You ever fought a kangaroo? Don't.
Dude, they made Donner and Booga sound like Lenny from Of Mice and Men.
Yeah.
Can I pet the rabbits, George? Come on, can I pet the rabbits? When they made the innuendo when Tank Girl and Jet Girl are like in the room with bowling balls, and Booga's just looking through the thing. She's like, if you let us out, I can make it worth your while.
That's
and he comes
negatory.
in. No, he comes in and immediately goes, "You got baseball cards?"
Yeah.
What?
He's
like,
so
make it worth your while,
childish.
and he's baseball cards is what he wants.
What
yes.
I feel like, so they kind of like took different traits of dogs for this.
Yeah, like,
I
I like the general innocence that they have going for Booga, but
Loyal,
they could have
aggressive,
made him more
humpy.
depth.
Yeah, you know what I mean. They like different.
Loyal, aggressive, and humpy.
Yeah, you everybody has
A regular
everybody's seen that
14-year-old.
dog that's just humping everything. Everybody's seen that dog that
I've
just
had
hates
that dog.
everybody. Everybody has that dog that just like is overly kind to everybody.
Yeah.
You know, like so.
Yeah.
I feel like they took like those animal
The dog
characteristics
traits. Dog
and put
traits.
them made them do that. Like, okay, so you're
Yeah.
you're a dog just trying to hump a leg. That's
A
who
bunch
you
of
are.
writers sitting around going, "What would a dog do?"
That's
You know?
that's the thing. They shouldn't have thought about what would a dog do. They should have done more research into kangaroos.
You know, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know much about kangaroos.
They made
Maybe
them
kangaroos.
dogs.
Kangaroos are fucking angry.
Yeah, kangaroos are mean.
They are angry fucking creatures.
There's T-Saint right there.
Yes, they
I'm
ready
gonna
to
pass
fight.
this
Yeah,
video
exactly.
around
Yeah,
to the
pretty much.
podcast, guys. So if you guys are listening, I want you guys to look up "Man Slaps Kangaroo."
I've seen it.
Man slaps kangaroo. I have
Kangaroo
not
was
seen
fucking
Man
with
slaps
his dog,
kangaroo.
and this dude straight punches the fucking kangaroo in the face.
Oh,
Hey,
I don't know if I
kangaroo
want
will
to see
fight
that.
people,
It
no
was
problem.
kind of great.
Okay.
He's trying to save his dog, man.
Oh, the kangaroo was just trying to play with the dog.
Play with the dog. Well, what
Too aggressive.
Yeah.
would you
That dog
consider
would've fucking
playing with the
died.
dog?
I don't know. If
He's
playing-
like hugging the dog. Like,
He's got the dog in a headlock.
Yeah.
Have you ever hugged a dog? Sometimes you got to put him in a headlock.
This guy looks like Luke Danes from friggin' Gilmore Girls, just with the
seen it?
backward hat and the plaid shirt.
I've seen it. But I could see you in court wearing your
punches
suit
the-
defending the kangaroo.
Did you see the look of disbelief? Did you see the look of
Look at the
disbelief on the
kangaroo.
kangaroo's face after getting hit? Just
Kangaroo,
What the hell?
He's just like hugging the dog, and the guy comes over like, "Let my dog go." He's like, "No, I want to play with this dog." And then like he stands up and he just fucking mollywops.
And the kangaroo looks like he's squaring off too. Like,
He's like, yo, I'm just trying to put.
Was
this-
fucking good, bitch.
yeah, the kangaroo looks like he's squaring off already, ready to go. Let's do it. Oh yeah, that's what we got over here.
There's just several animals you don't.
What you
fight.
working with? What you working with?
Lions, tigers,
And he just
bears,
gave it to him.
kangaroos. Kangaroos are scary fucking creatures.
Yeah, they are.
Baby kangaroos aren't. But they, even if they
Kidding
fucking
me?
drop
Those
kick
bitches
you.
are bodybuilders.
Baby kangaroos though. It's like a
There
baby
was
round.
one goof. There was one goof in the movie.
okay.
It's I don't know why they will say it's general trivia, but you remember the tattoo that Jack Girl had, the Looney Tunes tattoo? There was another character in the comic that had that tattoo.
Yeah.
I don't remember Jack Girl having that tattoo in the comic, even though I saw the comic after the movie.
Yeah. No. Jack, I'm pretty sure she didn't have that.
And the character that had that tattoo doesn't make it to the film.
But I also feel like if they did add up, like when you take a graphic novel and you put it into, or a comic book or anything, and you try and put it into a movie, you're gonna miss a lot.
Yeah.
But if you
No.
were to make it
Kind of
into
like
a
what they did with the Harry
series,
Potter series and all those series based off books.
I heard the rumor they were supposed to redo Harry Potter.
I don't
for
even want-
for Netflix, but more apt to the books, so like they can fill out all
Yeah.
those areas, and they're going to do a whole series of it. So each season would be like X amount of chapters, like each chapter.
I feel like they should have. They had a okay. So this movie had a $25 million budget. Only made $6 million at the box office.
Pod office.
I watched the movie a couple of times, and I feel like they could have spent a little extra money on somebody to come in to do temporary tattoos, because
Yeah.
her tattoos were literally press-ons.
Yeah.
All the tattoos throughout the movie, you could see they were like band-aids, just stuck on.
You can tell.
You can tell when you get to the close-ups, you can see that they're just stuck on.
One of my
Super
big
obvious.
things with the tattoos was I like that they kept Tank Girl's like original little stick figure thing on her arm.
Right. No, I mean, I appreciate what the
Yeah.
tattoos looked like, but they could have done it as like a temporary tattoo.
Yeah, exactly. Like
That-
airbrushes were a thing back then.
I mean, they had the ability to do that.
Yeah.
I wanna try to understand why in the years 2033 she wants to go see Baywatch, that she can miss Baywatch, and somebody tells her go to New York and see Cats.
Well,
I mean, that was...
I don't think nobody wants to watch Baywatch and see Cats today, let alone in 2033.
That makes sense, though. I don't think a 12-year-old that doesn't really... She's not super into, like, all these plays
in that way,
and stuff.
Like all the references that
the references, like, they don't fit who she is.
In that way, it's a little dated. So the movie took place in 1995 when some of these things were very popular. The movie itself, the time frame was 2022.
Yeah.
When the movie was 2033. The comets had actually hit in 2022. Mm-hmm. So even at that point, I mean, you're figuring that Baywatch had been on the air for 30 years at this point. That's a little unrealistic.
Yeah.
They could have come up with something better.
Do they still make Baywatch? I think they stopped Baywatch.
In 95?
They made
No. Now.
Yeah,
like
no,
by this time.
They
right?
made a movie recently with The Rock and Zac Efron.
No, I'm talking about the series.
Yeah, no, they stopped that and then they made a movie about it. Like
No, the movie. Yeah, I saw the movie.
Like, what child do you know knows about cats?
Exactly.
I know a lot about cats.
I know a couple of
Child
kids.
dog.
All calico cats are female.
If your parents are heavily into...
Most of them Sabis are male.
If you come through from a theater family, a family that loves theater...
True, yeah.
then Cats is probably one of the most innocuous things you can bring your kids out to see. You know? So my friend Patrick knew about Cats when he was like 10 years old.
Okay, well then, mark me proven wrong.
I could have given a lesser shit.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something about Cats. When I first saw Cats, I was a kid. And that creeped me out.
Oh.
I'm sure I would love it if I would have watched it the first time as a grown-up.
And I need
They're
to...
coming out with the movie now.
Yeah.
Let me... I was about to say something about that.
My grandma
I
took
want
me
to
see
I want to
Cats.
reach out just right now. If you're listening, the people that came up with the idea of doing this live-action Cats movie, go to hell. that fucking trailer gave me nightmares.
Leave it to the theater people.
You know, it's a
They know
stage
what they're
thing.
doing.
And they didn't... I saw the trailer. It didn't look like they tried to make an effort to make it like live action. It
Yeah.
was literally just a stage play on the friggin' big screen. At best.
Like on a soundstage studio type deal.
At best. So,
High school auditorium.
I tried seeing Cats as a grown-up, and I guess because I was so creeped out by it when I saw it as a kid, I couldn't really get into it.
May you spend tens and tens of millions of dollars and lose your jobs because of it.
I was a theater kid in high school, and I just...
Explains a lot. No, I'm just kidding.
Burn.
Ow! My
I
feelings.
like musicals. I'm not a theater guy, but I love musicals.
I love musicals, but never could get into Cats again because when I saw it the first time, my grandma took me to see Cats. I shouldn't have even gone.
I couldn't do the theater thing.
As a grown-up, I probably would have loved it if I would have seen it the first time as a grown-up.
Yeah.
That was that bad of an impression. Seeing cats walking around like humans and dancing and stuff.
Like what little theater I was exposed to when I was younger were literally these terrible, terrible things that like they would schedule for field trips through school. And so you'd always go see some horrible rendition of Grease or The Wizard of Oz, and I'm just sitting here going, this is the most boring thing ever. And there is literally no volume. You guys bought the seats over here at the back wall, and we're trying to listen to something going on down here. I don't know what's going on.
Listen,
I was exposed to a lot of theater growing up.
Nobody has a good time at the theater as Bruce Wayne.
Yep.
Damn.
Bruce Wayne loves the theater.
Damn.
Oh no.
Dead parent joke.
Yep. Right before his parents got killed.
Well, he probably had a good time at the theater.
No,
after
he didn't.
the theater, not so much.
That's the thing. He did not have a good time at the theater, so he left early. He convinced his dad to leave
Well, he's
early.
a grumpy little rich bitch, you know.
So
That's how it works.
He was
you know?
afraid of the bats, and then they left early. And because they left early, his parents died.
That's why I love kids and hate rats.
That's why you don't listen to your kids, and
You don't
like,
do
"We're
what they
staying
say."
till the end.
You don't do what your kids say. You're the boss. See, that's how Mr. Wayne got killed,
Yeah,
and Bruce grew up an orphan.
it's all your fault.
He
Thomas
became
Wayne.
Batman out of guilt.
Okay. Any other likes or loves for the movie?
I mean, what I kind of disliked was the thing. It's like 50-50 on it. Was the fact that they were draining water from people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yes, the
they
water
would have gotten
bottle.
a lot more water from a person than that.
Yeah.
Did you catch
Drinkable
on
water,
to
though,
that
that's the thing.
beginning scene with Malcolm McDowell when he stuck the water bottle in the guy's back to drain the water from him? He reaches down and peels this thing off, which has a very wide rim. All that water would have been on the ground the way that he grabbed that.
Yeah.
All of
what
it.
it wasn't supposed to be.
Because the guy's laying flat on the ground. He isn't on his side or anything. He's laying flat on his face on the ground. He peels the water bottle off. All that water would have been on the ground.
Yep.
Well, you don't know the technology behind it.
The gravity levels.
It's got a force field. Well, they've got holographic heads. They must have a force field to keep the water in, right?
Right. I mean, you want to.
You don't see it. It's just there.
You want to make sure that the thing that you're killing people to make,
they could have showed him.
Can't just accidentally drop on the ground.
They could have showed him accidentally burning his lip on the force field or something. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know?
I really love the tanks. I really enjoyed those.
I love Jet's jet.
Yes.
Yeah, that was pretty cool
God,
too.
like the way she modified it.
I think I liked the progression for Jet through the movie.
Yeah.
And then she gets back on to the end of the movie where that guy looks at her and says, "Fuck you," and she pulls the gun on him and says, "How many times do I have to tell you? I don't want to." So I really liked Jet's progression throughout the movie from meek to certifiable badass.
Yeah.
Other thing I could have dealt without, and this also goes to that one edited scene that I was talking about, I could have dealt without Subgirl.
Yeah.
I really could have. And it's not that I could have dealt without the actress, it's just
the way she was portrayed.
It was very quick, cut and dry. They made her abrasive, and they didn't give her enough, I want to say background.
Yeah.
So this is a major character in the comic books who
they should have given her more time and more depth.
Well, maybe
they gave her more time. They had to cut out most of it because they gave her more time, and let me tell you, that time was horrendous.
A second version of this, though?
Well, that's what that original ending looked like, is they were talking about.
So you will say she was wrongly written into the film.
Yeah.
She shouldn't have been in the movie altogether. If they're not going to do it right, then don't mishandle the character. Just get rid of it altogether. There's just
bring her in with her background in a different movie.
This could have just as easily been just a garage of some random friend. It didn't have to be like a major character from the comic book.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Who comes in literally at the end, like for that scene. She just randomly shows up and she's just like, boom, boom, we won, right?
The original ending that they were setting it up for a sequel.
Even though you modified your shit in her garage.
Yeah, how'd you know? You know? But, they were definitely setting it up for a sequel.
Yeah.
Right? They decided right then and there, I guess, that whole scene, which was god-awful. I'm stuttering here because it's tough to get the kind of disgust that I want to give that ending scene out.
You know, when they do put it out there, like, you know, it starts to rain, and now the little girl's like, I'm getting spit on and everything like that.
Who's spitting on me? I'm getting spit on. Stop spitting. It's not spit, it's rain.
Was this one specific individual, this one company, were they stopping the rain everywhere else?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the feeling that the end gave me. That they were like dominating the water supply so much they had literally stopped the rain, you know?
Earlier in the movie, Booga had indicated that they were using seawater they were like making technology to make seawater drinkable.
They have that.
Yeah, exactly. They fucking so the world isn't completely dry like they're insinuating throughout the movie.
Right. Yeah. He's gone off to some far-off land
for X amount of years.
Yeah.
This is the opposite of Water World, is what this is. It's
pretty much
Desert World,
basically.
Johnny Prophet went off to go find Kevin Costner from Water World.
Mad Max of mushrooms.
Yes.
Yes.
Mad Max of mushrooms is what I feel.
Mad Maxine.
Yep.
There you go.
Mad Maxine on mushrooms.
Honestly, I don't know why, but I found the haircut attractive.
I hate you.
The tank girl haircut, I liked it.
That's something I disliked. I'm like, not for nothing. Yeah, post-apocalyptic world. Like, you could figure
goes with the
something
comic,
out.
Though. Her hair is always
like
all fucked up, shaved in random spots throughout the comics.
It takes a certain amount of balls to go around wearing a haircut like that. It really does. And so she, not only, it's not just the haircut, it's the confidence that she went around with that just matched it.
Yeah.
So everything from head to toe was just nothing but, this is me, deal with it or fuck off, you know. It takes a certain amount of confidence to be able to do that. You know, like Cyndi Lauper was the queen of that shit.
I mean,
Like throughout the entirety of the 80s. Had to
kangaroo.
appreciate the hairdos, the colors.
The most ballsy of them all was Grace Jones.
You know, in all honesty, if you didn't have Lori Petty, Cyndi Lauper would have stepped into that role perfectly.
Oh, yeah. They would have probably made it even way crazier with Cyndi.
Yeah.
Cyndi was a little trippy. I liked her. She didn't have a lot of movie roles, but
Because
she was...
a lot of people still knew about Cyndi Lauper at that time.
I
So
tried-
she would have done it.
I
She
tried
would have done good.
convincing my boyfriend to dress up as Tank Girl and Booger for Halloween this year. He didn't go for it.
Yeah. Well, because his role would have taken a lot more...
I would have been the one making all the makeup and prosthetics and everything.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
He doesn't got to do shit. He just got to sit there and look pretty.
it's October in Massachusetts, so I guess the prosthetic thing wouldn't have been too much of a trouble, you know?
No.
I can make prosthetics.
If it was the summer, I would be like, you want to put what on me? Hell no. Fuck off. No, I'm not doing that.
That would have just said fuck off in the summer.
Yeah,
It's not like I
summertime.
was gonna put like liquid latex
That's the
on
reason
his
why they
face
made
or anything,
Halloween in the
'cause he's got
in
facial
the
hair. I would just like done the
harvest
makeup for
season.
his face
Let's
and
get like
made
a little
his ears.
kangaroo nose and
Yeah.
ears. And
Even then, you just gotta like paint the nose
make him
right,
wear around a big old floppy
contour
tail.
properly. Like you're good.
Say contour properly.
Exactly.
All in all, I think the acting for all the actors throughout, they did their jobs pretty well. There was a couple of people that I could have dealt without. The Madam I could have dealt without. Some
Yeah.
girl I could have dealt without.
He likes them young.
And it wasn't
Connor.
Little girl.
it wasn't that the actors were doing a bad job. They did a good job for what they were handed for crap roles. But that's exactly what it was, is that these were these roles that were written in to try to be true to the comic book adaptation, but they were just unnecessary. They didn't need to be there.
Hear me?
Beer you?
That time could have that time and energy could have gone into something else that would have made the movie way better.
Yeah, you could have expanded on the background for the damn Rippers.
Yeah.
All that time that they spent with the fucking chorus line.
You were
Which
in
was
the
just
you were
ridiculous.
filming in the desert. You didn't have to spend that much money on background props.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's
The
one of the
whole
wonderful
thing with
things.
Boga too. All that they could have.
That was one of the wonderful things about post-apocalyptic movies. And that's why a lot of people like doing post-apocalyptic movies, because literally
So easy.
all of your background stuff, all of your sets, it's literally junk.
Yeah,
It's
just
trash.
Go
You
to
can
Arizona. You're good.
film in a junkyard. You know?
they have
It's half your scenery.
And to write the script, but you have to do it, assume what it might be.
yeah, but
Show up at a junkyard one day. Excuse me, sir. I need to pay you a little bit of money. I'd like to take some of your trash. Please?
but like when they did,
Because how
when
much
they
research
did,
do you need to do on something that hasn't happened yet?
When they did I Am Legend,
Yep.
though,
Uh-huh.
that was filmed in New York.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like that's a lot of CGI behind everything. That
Yeah, but this is the desert.
you know,
Yeah.
yeah, but like things like this.
I feel like the
Book
majority of the
Eli,
money...
yeah, like,
The Book
When-
of
That was a
Eli
good
was
movie.
great.
yeah.
The Book
'Cause-
of Eli was great.
They had definitely used like an old decommissioned factory for some of the
Damn, I'm
scenes
gonna
for
go
water
home
and
watch that
power.
now.
But
Oh, that was
I think a lot of the money went into like the set for
His holographic head. That's
No, the
what it
house.
is.
the house in the beginning of the movie that they live in.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it went into rebuilding that house in the middle of the desert. You know,
Yeah, because like they stayed pretty true to the way that it was built in the comic.
if you
Yeah.
talk to politicians, some areas a toilet seat costs $5 million. It's
Hey, that's shit. Fuck those politicians.
Trump in his gold-plated fucking toilet.
no. We will not discuss Trump on this podcast.
Right,
We will not.
Just because you don't have a gold-plated toilet,
Fuck that
doesn't mean
guy.
I don't want a gold-plated toilet.
All right.
Doug Frump. Let's go. No
Even though we all
talking
pretty much have the same opinion, we won't discuss him on the podcast. Just
about it. Nope.
because
Don't give him a platform.
Yeah,
He doesn't deserve it.
This is not the political thing. We're gearing up for that. We're not doing this right now, though. Ooh, and as the day gets later, the
Ah!
flies come out en max.
Yeah, I don't know
All
why
right.
they all decided to come under here.
Well, because it's not zipped up.
Well, I understand that, but like, why would they
See.
just like within the past 5 minutes they were like, "Oh, this is the place."
Well,
Yeah, we're
there's blood,
outdoors.
there's food.
We're outdoors doing this in a tent, and
You
we
make
got-
one hell of a
Bit by
fly,
mosquito.
boys.
we got warm humans.
Now, what was that? What was it that they say?
What?
This is the place.
This is the.
We drink beer. We are their beer.
Yeah.
Basically.
Pretty much.
All right.
You guys
Got a
need-
plate of hot
You
dogs
guys need
lying
to go to
around?
rehab after me.
Yep.
So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break before we get into the pitch storm portion of our podcast.
Pit stop.
And we're going to go ahead and discuss our sponsors, and we'll be right back to it. All right, so thank you if you're still listening to us after the support roll, the mid-roll. I took a break mentally for a few seconds there, so we took a break for the mid-roll, and now we're taking a break mentally, or me mostly. We're going to go ahead and do our pitch fest. We haven't done this for the past 3 podcasts, so
All right.
we got our whole crew here. We want to get back into that because we usually have a little bit of fun sitting here and trying to come up with our own scenarios with a little bit of help from the board game Pitch Storm.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and start with Omar. Omar, you are going to go ahead and pick out our character card.
Carito.
Get a red one.
Get whatever you want. You don't have to pick from where I split it in here. You can,
The red ones are the bad ones, so.
but just get one. Anyone. Pick a card. Okay, what do you got there? Don't tell me what you got there. Okay, and you get to go ahead and pick our plot line.
All right.
Here we go. There's no difference there. It's all the same thing, remember?
Oh, yeah, you really came ill prepared this time.
So I pulled a real bitch move here, and I thought I had everything that I was supposed to, and I left half the cards at home, so the plot lines and our notes are all from a romantic deck, and the rest of it's from everything else. So we decided to omit the characters from the romance deck so that we could use the characters from everything else. And if you ever played the board game, you'd understand what the fuck I'm talking about, and if you haven't, well then...
You should.
Sorry.
Fuck off.
I don't know. Okay, and you can pick the notes. There you go.
Fuck off, mate.
All right. So let me go ahead and we're gonna give this all over to Seth, and he's gonna tell us what our movie today is.
Alrighty.
Our movie discussion.
So, we have
You see, it's a black
the
card.
character who's a caveman that recently was brought back to life. Attempts to make things right after ruining their best friend's wedding. And can we make the protagonist more endangeringly clumsy?
Okay,
Endearingly?
endearingly.
Endearingly clumsy.
Not endangered and
What
clumsy.
does endearing mean?
Please, endearing. You need to make him more lovable.
Seth Rogen.
So
Yeah, there
our-
you go. Yeah,
He's
Sam
our
Rogen
caveman.
is the
Okay,
like the
so hold on a
dangerly
minute. So a lot of this
I
doesn't
like the
seem to fit
dangerly
already. Already it doesn't fit because it's his best friend's wedding. So he is a caveman that came back to life and immediately made friends with somebody.
Well, a caveman that was recently brought back to life.
Recently brought back.
So,
to life.
he could have already become accustomed to some things that the scientist that
So
thought
are they
him out
integrating
became
him
his
into
best
life?
friend. Yeah, the scientist that thought him out became his best friend.
Okay. So we have
sounds
Seth
plausible.
Rogen as the caveman.
Seth will do good. Who
What's
else?
his fucking name? Huh? Hang on. Jurassic Park guy.
Jeff
Chris Pratt.
Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum.
Name
is
the scientist.
Yes, and it's his wedding that gets ruined.
Yes.
Yes. I'm
Yeah,
down with that.
definitely.
Okay.
Jeff Goldblum will make one hell of a
So
scientist.
I want to do something uncharacteristic with Jeff Goldblum here.
Love Jeff since the fly.
All right, we're gonna make Jeff Goldblum gay.
Yes.
So Jeff Goldblum, we got to come up with. He's like,
Yeah, it will be.
He's never played a role. He's
Joseph Gordon-Levitt
Joseph Gordon-Levitt
is his husband.
as his much younger husband.
Much younger
Much
husband.
younger.
It's fine.
Oh wow, okay. So Joseph Gordon-Levitt
okay.
is the guy he's marrying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who absolutely hates the caveman.
Yes.
Let's plot twist. He absolutely hates Jeff Goldblum too. The only this is how
He's marrying Jeff for the money.
He's marrying Jeff because he realized that he was coming up on a discovery of some sort. So this caveman thing was part of something that he was researching. Some big discovery, some medical breakthrough. And he wanted to be on board when this guy hit it big and he made serious money. So he's figuring he's going to marry into it. Okay. Jeff, he's trying to convince Jeff, this discovery that he's made, that he needs to make some serious money off it. And Jeff is that guy who's just like, no,
It's all about his science.
This is going out to people. I am giving this to people. This is not something I plan on making money on.
He's like, that's my friend. Like, we can't just put my friend up to be scientifically researched. You know what I mean? Dissected.
Been probed on.
What do you think this is? Area 51?
September
420. Storm Area 51.
Don't say it too loud.
I didn't say anything.
Listen, guys,
What?
it's a plot for the government to kill 300,000 people.
Why do you
Yeah,
think?
I think-
Don't
that's
storm
okay.
Area 51.
Why do you think that they're
No,
going to kill
nobody should.
hundreds of thousands of people? They banned abortion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Don't storm Area 51, storm the ICE detention centers.
No,
Yeah, save the kids.
Storm Washington.
Yes.
Storm Washington.
We all just saw what fucking
Oof, what?
protesting for 2 weeks in front of the fucking Capitol can do down in Puerto Rico. They got
Yeah.
rid of that fucking bitch.
So, you know,
Good for you guys.
I want to say that
I
we
support
veered
you.
off on another political tangent, but it's not very hard to do nowadays. It really is.
No.
There's so much to be pissed off at right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, so
Definitely.
essentially, for this though, you know, like, let's say the Jeff Goldblum's character works for the government.
There you go.
And they're trying to manipulate.
No. Not Jeff Goldblum. Joseph Gordon-Levitt works
Yeah,
for the
he
government.
works for the government,
Yes.
and they're trying to manipulate him, but through love.
They're
trying
using
to-
Joseph to manipulate him into selling the product,
And the caveman,
whatever it is.
recently, the caveman screws up the wedding completely. You know what I mean? Because he's high as fuck. Because it's Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen. You know what I mean? And they introduced him to weed real quick.
How does this have an effect? How is this affecting you here? Well, okay.
That's the thing they thought about. And Jeff Goldblum was sitting in the lab. You know, like he's there late night.
This isn't new to him. As a caveman, this was just everywhere.
Yeah.
This isn't new to
they
him.
They
This
didn't
is-
smoke it.
They used to put this in the fire, you know. It makes the meat taste funny, yes, you know.
You know, but no, like he comes up and like he gets up and he's all erratic. He's like and then like Jeff Goldblum.
You eat
he's
some of the
just,
berries,
like,
sometimes the
passes
meat
it.
rocks
Yes.
back.
Okay.
Like he's stoned off his ass, so he's just yeah, and he takes it and he's like.
We could give him a love interest. The caveman should fall
just-
in love with some chick, probably a therapist that they give him to get him adapted.
Yes.
And who would you guys like for that therapist?
You gotta make it somebody quirky.
Emma Stone.
I think we pull the Emma Stone
Oh, we
card
did.
a
No,
little
you're
bit too
right.
much.
Yeah.
It's got to be somebody
It's gotta be
like a Zoe Deschanel.
Probably.
I wouldn't go that way.
She and Joseph are in like movies together all the time, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't go that way just because I don't really feel
I like
the
Zoe
Levitt Deschanel union
Saldana.
again, but
Would play a good therapist. Zoe Saldana would play a good therapist.
she
She introduced him to weed too.
We could make
But-
her Lori Petty.
True.
Very fucking weird.
Yeah.
Oh well,
no,
now
true.
now she's kind of too old for
Rogan.
Rogan now.
I've seen Zoe.
Well, then
too.
again, let's
Then again,
be
though, he
honest.
is the
Rogan
kind
is
that's
very
into-
old at this point in the movie.
He is the kind that's into fucking like cougars and shit though too, right? So
You know, well,
He could be-
if he was a caveman, he's probably never seen anybody at that old.
So he's
I mean, I'm not
infatuated
calling
with
Lori
her.
Petty old by any stretch of the imagination.
We love
I'm
you,
just
Lori!
saying,
But
you
he's
know,
like-
if you made
he's
it past 30 without being eaten by a tiger, you're
And
you're doing good.
He's really 22. Like he looks older, but he's 22.
Well, he's really 22, but if he's a caveman, he's technically 22 million.
Right.
He's older
Yeah.
than any of them. If you,
Yeah.
And
he's
like,
got that vampire thing
It wouldn't
going
really
on.
matter.
I just,
well preserved.
I want what I want for like a caveman-esque movie though is for at some point the character brings somebody to where he like let's say he had a cave,
yeah,
you know what I mean, and he goes there like they go into the cave and
Like
they're
a sea cave. This is like California.
you know something and like it's his home and like the second he gets there he's like he freaks out and runs in there and like he's like look and he like all his drawings that are undiscovered, you know what I mean, but like he's like look like I did this, like this was me, you know what I mean.
So I think this movie,
He was artistic.
he speaks in clicks and grunts. However, I think to make the movie a little bit more entertaining, occasionally we're cutting back. Jeff Goldblum does not really understand. He can kind of get it with some of the gestures, and Seth Rogen does not understand him. So you're cutting back and forth with them both talking normally to each other, and the other person is just garbled. So Seth Rogen, when he's trying to explain things, he's doing this, and he's, you know,
And that's
talking
why
normally.
they're normally on point. Like they're talking normally, but it's all clicks and grunts. And at one point, like, Seth Rogen hears something that Jeff Goldblum wants him to do.
Yeah.
Like, he's just like, oh yeah, do me a favor and make sure the cake goes over here. And like what he hears is something completely different, like sit on the cake. So like, so like he ends up like completely ruining the wedding because
we should make him that he speaks a language, and he's speaking. Everybody understands him except you, the viewer.
Yeah.
Everybody has a conversation with him, and he's
like
the therapist, Aubrey Plaza.
Yes!
Aubrey Plaza will do
Yes!
good. Yeah.
I love her so much.
Aubrey will do good.
Aubrey Plaza. She's been in a lot of like Dirty Grandpa.
Parks and Rec.
Okay, yeah.
Parks and Rec. Yep.
You know,
love her.
Aubrey.
Aubrey Plaza.
Life After
Just
Beth.
that attitude, just. And if they do a revival of Tank Girl, Jet Girl, right here, I'm telling you.
Yeah, probably.
Because that would definitely bring a bit of back and forth. And mind you, like I said, they should cut away to like when they're doing the voice acting for this, because like I said, almost everybody hears Seth doing the and occasionally you just cut to him actually talking normal, and everybody else sounds garbled to him, and he's trying to communicate like, why the fuck don't you people understand me? It's like, what have I got to do? Set a fire here?
The only time he speaks correctly is when he's high.
Yes.
It is true.
The only time that they all understand.
I understand. I
Perfectly.
get what you're saying.
when they're
Sit
high.
on the cake.
It is so true.
Yeah,
that
man.
we could do that.
Just, you know what I mean? And like he's sitting there at one point, he's just he's trying to tell Jeff Goldblum how like much of an asshole like how Jordan Good-Levitt is. So he's just like, and he's still trying to pass him a joint, and he's just like, not now, you ruined my wedding, and he's
So, just as a this is, mind you, one of those movies that you just can't believe to begin with. It's one of those things like suspend my belief in reality kind of movies. So make Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Oh, okay. What are we doing here?
The screen went off.
Oh, yes. Okay. I see what you're saying. So make Joseph Gordon-Levitt. They cut away. So when he gets to his, keep saying they cut away. I'm just going to shut up for a minute. They get to his sea cave, and he's trying to explain what's going on in the sea cave, like how he ended up frozen.
And they cut away.
They cut out to Joseph Gordon-Levitt, a caveman version of him, and him arguing. This is why he's pissed at Joseph Gordon-Levitt the entire time, because he's the spitting image of the fucking caveman that got him frozen in the first place. Hates him. And even back then, this ancient ancestor was an asshole and got him frozen, sent him somewhere that got him basically frozen in time, and he walked off with the cave girl.
Yeah, like, oh, you know what she really likes? Snow. You know what I mean? And sends him up to like the top of a mountain.
Right? Aubrey Plaza is dead on the spitting image of his cave girl, and that's why he connects with her so quickly. Like, he is pissed off at being unfrozen. He sees the Joseph Gordon-Levitt guy. He sees Jeff Goldblum. And he's in a rage the entire time. Then she walks into the room, and he immediately...
Yeah, and it will make it very interesting and not cliche if they're fighting for the same girl now, except that this guy is trying to marry his friend because he's about to hit it big.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, first you stole my girl, now you're trying to steal my best friend.
I swear to
You
God,
gotta have that whole setup scene.
I swear to God, one of these days somebody's listening to one of these things. They're gonna make it big on our idea.
Well, intellectual property theft.
We did this first. We recorded this first. We got the proof. We got the podcast. And I told you there's a place we can go write this shit down. We can all write this stuff up and send it off. Sorry to get somebody to buy it.
Yeah.
Why wait around for somebody else to write it for us? Why not just do it?
We should make that happen. Man.
I want Myrtle Leaches to be a one.
Myrtle Leach. Yeah, I love that
Murder Leeches was dope.
That was several podcasts back. It's well worth listening to the ones when we're all here because we get into this pitch fest stuff and it is some.
It gets deep.
It is some corny ass shit. Sometimes
It gets deep.
Okay, I think we've done a decent thing with that.
Yeah.
Let's go on to another one. Let's go to another one. We're gonna go in reverse order.
We better
And
get
we're
paid
gonna let
if
you-
you steal one of our ideas.
Pick our character.
Better fucking pay me, huh?
She's like, I'm looking for a red one.
Yep.
Give me a red one.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. You got the plot, and you get the notes. And everybody pass that over to Nico, and she will go ahead and read our movie out to us.
I'm already loving it. However,
I don't like.
Let's see what you got there.
All right, let's see what we're gonna pitch now. Oh, it's good. She got the evil laugh going.
Oh my god! When I saw
when
I saw the notes,
it takes one NC-17 card. So
Just
okay. It is crazy.
She's having trouble reading it out. She's laughing so hard.
It's already gonna be a problem.
A creepy old priest is mysteriously turned into a 17-year-old again. Let's make this bitch into a musical set all the music out. What do we do in the music to?
Music of what?
Catholic hymns.
Let's get the Vienna Children Choir.
Just the music of the music of Creed.
The Vienna Children Choir.
High School Musical.
High School Music. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Zac Efron.
First of all,
you played this role before.
First of all, we have
you as the 17-year-old.
Before we really get into it, we have got to clarify exactly what we mean by creepy old priest.
Yeah.
There's different levels of creepy old priests.
What level of creepy should we talk about?
Are we talking about like the priest
That's
is fairly innocent, but he
the
has that
music
look
of the
about
movie.
him that just makes you not want to leave your children alone with him? You know, is it that kind of creepy? Or is he creepy as in like horror movie creepy, Exorcist kind of creepy, you know?
No,
the other creepy. Let's make it creepy as far as he like receiving
just has
gifts from women.
that stone-faced 1,000-mile stare that some priests get.
Why do I like little kids? Little kids in the background singing.
I got my
What is this, Pedo Priest the musical?
Yeah, pretty much. And at the end, he's definitely going to get locked up.
He's given the opportunity to reenact his youth and actually be the age of the kids that he likes.
No, he's still
This just sounds so horrible.
No, 17 are kind of
This is
are
so
cougars to
bad.
him.
He still likes
17 are cougars
He's still
to him.
like some of the little younger. He starts like filling out like babysitting jobs and everything. Gets denied immediately when he goes there. We have to have like a super creepy like character to play. He like his younger version as well as
This guy, blonde guy with blonde mustache that done a lot of funny characters could definitely be the priest.
Blonde mustache?
Yeah, and bald, kind of bald.
Hang
like
on, I'm
halfway.
looking him up.
blonde mustache.
He's
Blonde mustache, bald guy.
Blonde mustache,
actor.
bald actor? Could you say blonde mustache, bald guy? It's just going to be...
actor. This is a very funny guy. I can't remember the name. Oh my god.
I can't even think of anybody.
Yeah, he looks creepy.
Mind you, this guy should not be like a pedophile, but he just needs to have that vibe that just people feel uncomfortable around him. Because I mean, you can't make a movie about a pedophile priest.
Let's make it David Spade.
Unless
David Spade is the older creepy priest.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, he does. It's not even like he likes little kids. He likes women. He's just like, you know, because he's in the priesthood, like he's like just a creep about it. Like,
and like,
hey, you want
have
to
it
come
be
over
like
for dinner, have sex?
like,
Ha, just kidding. The Lord won't let me.
No. Have it be like one of those situations where he, as the older priest, he's not like a pedophile or anything, but he always seems to have somebody walk in on him when he's in the middle of doing something that looks just wrong.
Yeah.
Right? It's just, what are you doing? And the little kid's like, we're having fun, Ma! You know, just...
Oh no!
He gave me the blood of Christ, and it's like, no, it's just grape juice.
No!
He has a bottle of wine in his hand, but like the grape juice like fell on the floor behind the thing, which is why the kid's bending over to clean up the grape juice, and he's standing behind him with a bottle of wine, just. This is not what it looks like. So he goes on the run. He goes on the run.
So you've got to get
from
somebody
almost...
that's about equal height. Because if you're talking David Spade and a younger version of David Spade, you actually may not even have to do that. With CGI nowadays, you've seen some of the movies, like what they did with Samuel L. Jackson. You can just CGI map his face and make him younger.
Yeah.
Make the teenage version of him.
I've just David Spade fucking the CGI him to look younger. You know what I mean? But
So-
like all his identification shows that he's like this old wanted Catholic priest because
Yeah.
like yeah, he's like everybody sees him as a creep, but like nothing of what happening is happening. So like yeah, like that scene happens and he's standing there. He's like, it's not what it looks like, and it like kind of looks like he's like just like about to try and bone a little kid. And he's like, no, he's just cleaning up the juice on the floor. And just... So he goes on the run.
Oh, I know who you're talking about now.
I wasn't talking about this guy, but this guy looks way creepier dressed up as a priest than the guy I was talking about.
They have a Netflix show, Mr.
Okay.
Show.
Okay,
the guy
yeah.
from Mr. Show, David Cross.
No, he's the guy from. Well, I know him as the guy from fucking Oh my God!
Plenty of movies he's in.
Arrested Development.
Right. No.
Yeah.
Wait, is he?
He's in Arrested Development.
Is he in Arrested Development?
He's
David
a-
Cross?
He's the fucking the creepy brother-in-law.
No, that's a different guy. Looks very similar, but definitely a different guy. That guy right there, that's David Cross.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, that's the guy you were thinking of right there.
No, that wasn't the guy I was thinking about.
Flip down, go down.
No, I'm
Go
going.
down. Choose that
Yeah,
one.
that's exactly
sure
what I'm
he's
talking
here.
about.
Huh?
David Cross. He was in Arrested Development.
He is, isn't he?
Yep.
He's the other brother, not the one that's missing a hand.
Yeah.
The other one.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Brother-in-law.
I'm having a debate over is he in the show? Is he not in the show? I've seen this show. I should know he's in the show. That picture didn't know justice, though. He had a lot more weight in his face.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I kind of want to
Okay,
change.
so we've replaced David Spade.
I was gonna say Will Arnett.
Huh?
I was gonna say Will Arnett for the
Will
priest.
Arnett is the creepy priest?
Yeah, he suits he suits it.
Right, and you could find like a younger version of Will Arnett with
He's
no problem.
so
You
fucking
can't-
creepy.
It would be so difficult to cast a young David Spade
Yeah.
that it wouldn't even be funny. You know, there's even that kid, Steve from Stranger Things.
I love him.
He could play the younger Will Arnett.
You're right.
So he gets turned back like 20 years into him, and he's still got that creepy. He's not hitting on the kids, the younger. He's still hitting on the moms, the older women.
Yeah.
But now he's
Just a creepy teenager.
creepy teenager. But mind you, as the priest, it was creepy. When he's younger, Steve's a kind of a good-looking guy. The
Yeah.
moms are kind of like, well, actually. And now he finds himself in it. So,
Oh my God.
that thing that was not working for him is a creepy priest. Mind you, he's a creepy priest who is a little loose morally.
All right. So who do we want to make his interest in? Because this is a musical
Any older
to the
ones.
music of what was it? A High School Musical? Yeah. Fuck it. Oh my God. Oh my God.
It's high school. So, well, it doesn't have to be the music of High School Musical, but can definitely
Because High School
have the same
Musical,
Yeah.
basic
High
feel
School
to it.
Musical didn't have a lot of original songs, did they? Everything was original.
Yeah. No. It was mostly original songs.
Soaring, flying.
I
There's
say-
not a star in heaven that we can reach.
If there was
don't
a
know.
dragon,
I still say
then we're breaking free.
hair metal.
We're breaking free.
Which would be definitely creepy if you're talking about like a younger guy going for MILFs.
Yeah.
Dancing around singing like that with an older woman, you
Because
know?
that's what he thinks that they like, because he's an old guy and now in a 17-year-old
He hasn't
body.
been a 17-year-old in a
But
long
he's like,
time.
what are the kids like nowadays? It's a High School Musical. So like his whole thought process is like, I'm young, I'm hip, I'm High School Musical.
How many has that thing?
dated, super dated.
So how many has this thing? So let's. I got it even better. So have you seen Scrubs?
Yes.
This woman had a brain issue, like a brain bleed, and what was going on was she thought she was living in a musical, but everybody else was just living life normally. So he thinks he's going through this whole thing like he's living in a musical, and everybody else is just looking at him like,
What the fuck are you doing?
"What are you singing about?"
I wish they didn't think I was a creep.
Breaks out into, and he thinks that everybody's singing
Right,
along
right.
with him, but they're not.
This is
I
why.
don't diddle little
So-
girls.
We got to find
only
somebody
like the
that's a female lead that's in and around the 40 to 50-year-old range. Maybe the mother of one of the kids that
Jennifer Aniston.
Yes.
Jennifer Aniston. She doesn't really have the. If you're talking about breaking into a musical every once in a while, she doesn't have the pipes for it.
She's not a very musical person.
Not
Jennifer
very
Lopez.
musical at all. Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah,
That
Yeah.
actually might work
definitely.
because she's definitely got the musical pipes. You know.
She could get the pipe. I mean,
Okay.
Well then.
I'm going to
And direct all that mail to Zeph over here. You can find him. Well, actually, you can't find him much of anywhere.
I'm off the grid.
You don't have a lot of social media.
He's a hidden entity.
Seth Lenig. I'm the only Seth
Don't
Lenig
make-
in the world.
Don't make people.
SETHLENIG.
He wants a stalker.
He's
He's
actively
asking for
looking
it.
for one. I told him last podcast he did this. Don't give away your real name. What are you doing?
I don't care. I did direct the hate mail.
Well, hell, I mean, people can find me by my real name if they take 2 seconds to look. I mean,
I'm the only Leonard in the world. The only one.
He desires
go
to
into
be
my
stalked.
social media. I'm that asshole that likes everything that I do. Do I like what I did? Yeah, I like that.
I'm so
like
easily found online. All you gotta do is look up Honey Be Kind.
Right? That's not hard to find. Just gotta look it up.
Yeah, Google Honey Be Kind, and I'm literally fucking everywhere.
Right? You can Google Cinematic Anarchy too, and we are like at the top. Nobody else. We're right there. You can find us everywhere. We're not on SoundCloud yet, but that's just because I haven't reached out to that area yet.
It's coming.
We'll figure it out. You know, people can go download us, and we'll put out full podcasts on LP at some point. We'll sell them. At some point.
All I want is to be the offensive one. Which I'm pretty sure I'm that guy.
We're going way off the rails of this particular pitch. We're like, pedophile priest. No, let's talk about other things.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's a pitch storm. Like multiple ideas until we find the perfect movie.
Okay. So
Jennifer Lopez getting the
you got the Will Arnett priest who's hitting on Jennifer Lopez when he's actually a priest, and he keeps finding himself in weird situations with her son. And then something happens, like he has a thing that he's preparing. He's preparing a speech at the pulpit one day, and the cross falls down behind him and hits him in the head.
Okay.
Just clunk. No explanation. He goes head over heels, and he wakes up a 17-year-old. There's no explanation. Like he goes, I don't understand. Maybe he prays to God or something. I don't understand what I have to do to get through to this woman. Blah 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 blah. God, just give me a sign. Help me. And then the cross hits him in the back of the head, and of course we're treading on thin ice here, where we're doing movies about the Catholic Church. You know, because let me tell you, how much hate did Dogma get when that came out? That you want to make fun of a priest, you're gonna have some hell to burn in for a little bit, as far as they're concerned.
Oh yeah, according to them, you better not.
All right, so now he's a 17-year-old, no longer technically a priest. He goes through his whole big moment, except for in reverse. Oh my God, look at me! Well, I'm this now and not that. What's going on? So how do we get him integrated back into? Well, he's 20 years old, so he's not technically a high schooler anymore.
So him and the son have always had like a special relationship. They're wicked good friends. But even though like they end up being in creepy situations, you know what I mean?
Maybe the son finds him and is like,
the kid sees him as a father figure. You know what I mean? And that's why he's always trying to spend time with him. And he sees that J-Lo's the single mom, you know, and like he tries to like, you know, he wants to be there for the kid, and like he ends up like, and that's his only friend because he's a priest. I don't know why priests only have one friend.
Right. One friend in the world.
But so like he kind of goes over and he's like, hey, you know, like kind of like he's like, yo, guy, like, hey, like, come on, and like he explains something to him that only you would know. You gotta have that like one.
I say the kid sees the whole thing happen, right? So this thing falls down on him, and he comes to pull the cross off of him, and he's a 17-year-old under the cross, and he's just like, wake up! As he's waking him up, what just happened?
As he's waking him up, he's in like a kind of like it's still a creepy situation, and it would have been way creepier if he was the priest, way creepier if he was like the adult priest. But then the mom walks in on him with like a young kid again, and she's like, "Oh, okay," and he still wakes up like, "No, it's not what you think it is." Blah blah blah. She's like, "Oh no, he must be his new friend."
Right. So he's got no place to live, obviously, because he was a priest. He's now living in the church. You know, he's kind of living in the whatever quarters the priest had for the church. So most places they give you, I guess, as a Catholic priest or a pastor, you get like it's a pastoral home.
Probably, yeah. They all have it.
I don't think the Catholic priests live in the church, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they live in a house next to church, usually, or behind the church.
As close as humanly possible.
Don't ask why. Why come Pasadena? I have a nice house.
Obviously, people get a little worried when the priest doesn't show up to his gig. He's not, and he's a 20-year-old, so he puts on the suit still. He said, well, you know, Pastor Jim's asked me to step in for him for the next few weeks, and he's still playing the gig, just playing it as a replacement.
So he's still a creepy priest.
Now, who's the kid? The kid that's about... I want to say he's still about high school.
Michael Cera.
Michael. Yeah, he kind of has that...
that creepness to him.
I wouldn't say creepy. I mean, they're getting caught in weird situations. Wouldn't call
He can be fucking creepy. Have you seen This Is the End?
Okay.
that was my favorite. Just
I've never done this drug before.
It's like, well, you're gonna be tripping balls. I hope that's how he is in real life. Like,
He slaps Rihanna's ass.
she fucking punches him right in the face.
Fucking, who was it? Seth Rogen walked into on him, fucking getting his ass eaten out and fucking dick sucked by 2 girls.
You want in on this?
You jumping in?
I'm good. Thank you.
So, needless to say, we got Michael Cera as the young priest.
Not the young priest. The young priest is being played by what's his name, Steve. So the guy becomes the younger version of himself, and he's still like 20-something years old.
He's
so
17.
he convinces.
He's 17 years old.
17, yeah.
17.
The card
Okay.
specifically says 17.
17.
Okay, so he's 17. Wow. Okay. Obviously, he's not.
I feel
going
like
to
Michael
school.
Cera's gonna look 17 for the rest of his life.
I think so too. He looks really young even right now.
Sorry, Mike. Not really, though.
Even with his mustache.
Yeah,
He has to. They both have to have mustaches.
that's like a weird 70s porn stash.
Yeah. Like, he needs... They both need...
If you've got curly hair to begin with, it always looks like a porn stash. I'm just saying.
I hate my boyfriend's porn stash. It's
Porn
terrible.
stash.
No, but like the adult version needs to have the mustache, and the kid version needs to have like a less mustache. Like,
Yeah.
Just a thinner porn stash. Just it hasn't quite grown in yet. It's just
Just like patches of hair on his cheeks.
And, like, the mom starts getting close to him. You know what I mean? Like, they start, like, talking, and they finally, like, like, now she feels like she's a creep because she's, like, catching feelings for, like, a younger kid.
who's still aggressively hitting on her as if he were still the 40-year-old or 50-year-old version of himself. But he's
like,
17, so now she's kind of going for it, and he's...
But she's never given him the benefit of a doubt being the adult because he's a priest. Because he's a priest. She's
Right.
like, Father, I can't do that to you. I can't, you're gonna break your vow. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that. Even though priests are allowed to marry.
That, and just yesterday I saw you with my son bent over in front of you holding a bottle of wine. That's a deal breaker for me,
And
Bending my kid over. Yeah.
And like, at the end, something like super corny that needs to happen. And, like, things aren't always as they seem. And then, like, he gets hit in the head with the cross again, and she freaks out, picks up the cross, and he's an adult, and it's him. And she realizes that she had feelings for him, and that things aren't always as they seem, and that's why he's not banging her son.
That works.
It's like, I always thought you were like some pedophile priest that just got into the church to... Gives him this weird speech that it's just so awful. Just this weird speech about thinking he was a pedophile that was molesting her son, and now I understand that I was all wrong.
We should have somebody really, really stern looking and serious play like a higher authority to that priest in the church.
Take David Cross.
There you go.
Not really stern, but you could take David Cross.
I was thinking Robert Duvall.
Robert Duvall.
Yep.
Didn't Robert Duvall pass away?
Close the door.
Did he?
I thought he passed away.
Let me Google.
He probably did.
I don't know that we have
I'm
the.
at 4%.
I don't know that we have the technology to resurrect him. If that is indeed the case.
If he didn't pass away, he should do it. I thought. Did he pass away? I didn't hear that.
So you want a stern authority figure?
No,
Yeah.
he's alive.
He's alive. Okay, well there you go. Why,
He will
I
play a
mistake.
good archbishop.
Robert Duvall.
Yeah.
He is 88.
Bishop, cardinal, something like that, who everybody's super afraid of.
Says, afraid of though. I've always got that grandfatherly vibe from him, or fatherly vibe. I never thought
I
of him
could
as
be
something to be
afraid of him.
afraid of.
I can look at him right now.
He's done
And that was-
movies where he's a pretty tough guy.
Ed Harris.
Ed Harris.
Ed Harris would be perfect for that. Because you're talking about a guy that has these eyes that somebody could just be afraid of, like stern. And even when he's trying to be a good guy in the movies, he always has that like
That tough guy look.
that tough guy look. Like
Did you see State of
if
Grace?
he snaps,
What
we're gonna
character are we
have
talking
trouble.
about now?
The
Instead of Grace with
guy
Jack
that's
Chan?
above the
was
creepy
very good.
priest.
Milk Money.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Who just like he just looks like he's not gonna forgive any of your
No,
sins.
there's no forgiving here. 'Cause if he was still alive, I would say Angus Shrim, but if does anybody know who that is?
No.
Angus Shrim.
Who's that?
From the Phantasm movies, the tall man.
Oh,
That guy.
now I know.
He actually played a priest in John Dies in the End.
Oh, yes, he did.
He did. And when he goes a little demonic and tells him, you're fucked, just real quick. But, yeah, no, I think that he should be the authority figure. But we're leading towards the schmaltzy ending that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So we go from just this weird vibe the entire movie. And it's got to be taken in a context of like a Seth Rogen-esque movie.
Yeah.
It's got to be that kind of movie that's just... Things are uncomfortably comedic at points, just like, oh, should I laugh at that? Wait.
Yeah, definitely. That's what it will be.
Maybe give the chance for Daniel Tosh to write a movie.
Oh my God.
Seriously,
You're
let
right.
Daniel Tosh write the
He does
movie.
Brickleberry.
Yeah.
Right? Seriously.
That's a terrible fucking show.
or written by Seth MacFarlane.
Oh, right. There you go. That'll work.
That will
Directed
definitely-
by Seth MacFarlane, written by Daniel Tosh.
Yes.
Yes.
Right? Because we're talking musical.
Yeah.
Who's going to be perfect for the musical
Seth
aspect
MacFarlane.
of it, right? You
Yep.
could even have Seth MacFarlane have like a quick little part in it. Maybe he plays the principal of the high school or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who actually is a diddler. But he doesn't. He never gets caught in the situations. You know what I mean? Like he does. Like
The priest knows what's going on because he's in confessional all the time. I'm having impure thoughts about Timmy over there. Just
I
constantly.
can imagine that. I can imagine.
And he's the guy that the mom actually had a crush on.
I
Like
can
really
imagine
liked.
that principal raise suspicion, saying it's so unfair what they doing to the priest nowadays.
All right. With that, I think we're gonna go ahead and tie up our episode for the day.
All right.
We've gone ahead and well,
zip tie.
zip tie it up. Okay, that works.
Alrighty then.
That definitely works.
So you guys want to say your goodbyes?
Au revoir.
My goodbyes.
Say goodnight, Alice.
Goodbyes.
Good night, Alice.
I should have say your goodbyes.
Jesus, Omar's goodbyes. God.
My goodbyes.
My God too.
It's his. It has nothing to do with anybody else. It's just
My goodbyes. I probably should have said your goodbyes. That's what you told me to say.
right. Well, it's my goodbyes.